Nowadays, it's very important for us to know who to trust. Lalo na sa pagbili ng sasakyan. Sobrang daming pwedeng pagbilian pero iilan lang ang totoong maaasahan. Who doesn't want an easy and convenient car buying process? Who should we trust to get all your car buying needs? AutoDeal has all the answers. AutoDeal is an all-in-one platform for your car needs. It makes your car buying experience worthy and more convenient. Up to 450 highly rated car dealers nationwide pa ang pwedeng pagpilian. So what are you waiting for? Simplify your car buying journey and get the best deal at autodeal.com.ph.
Hello?
Podcast Network Asia.
Hey guys, welcome back to Small Talk, small conversations with huge impact. Now exclusively on Spotify, powered by Anchor. And my name is Alec Cuenca. I'm your host. If this is your first time listening to the podcast, then welcome. I hope that you like this one. And if you do, go ahead and check out the other amazing episodes that we have here on the show. If you're an avid listener of the podcast, then welcome back. I am so happy that you're still invested in personal development. And tonight, we actually have a very special episode. How many minutes do we have here? All right, max 10 to 15 minutes. We're actually at an event here, as you can see, Spotify Creator Mixdown. And I'm recording with one of the people that I really got inspired from. Her podcast is one of the reasons why a lot of people are taking better care of their mental health. And she's a champion of just self-care and self-love as well. And I'm really excited to have on the show Miss Hannah Pangilinan. Hi, Hannah.
Hello. Hi.
Hi.
Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for sharing your time. I know you're talking with
It's okay,
someone.
breathe. Kaya mo yan.
Oo nga eh. That's actually one of the things that I loved about your show was, I think you inside the show you were teaching breathing.
Yeah.
Is that your intro? Right?
It's actually one of my bite-sized episodes.
Oh yeah.
So I have like short episodes if people only have 1 or 2 minutes. So we do like breathing exercises or some mindfulness techniques.
Yeah.
So that's one of them.
And aside from, I think there's some content creator here that also does that. But when I listened to you, it was really relaxing. So thank you so much for doing that. But have you always been, or what's the story behind you being interested about it or in the wellness space?
Oh, well, I started YouTube ever since I was around 16 years old. So I was really young when I got into YouTube, and I realized that quickly, social media can get quite toxic if not, or if kept unchecked. So I myself had my fair share of mental health struggles, being in the spotlight at times or kind of handling pressure, of carrying a lot of jobs. I mean, being a creator is not just doing one thing. It's not just being a podcaster. It's also, being on video and having talks, attending events. It's a lot to carry. I mean, I'm sure you understand that as well. So yeah, I just wanted to make a podcast for somebody that, well, to be honest, it was a podcast I wish I had when I was going through my darkest times. So I was inspired by it because I was like, people help me. Podcasts like Headspace helped me so much. But Headspace is a paid app. And I was like, Spotify is free. And I would love to be able to also give that type of content to the Filipinos with somebody that I'd hope they'd trust because she is also Filipino. And yeah, I just felt like it was a great medium to be able to communicate that message.
I just love that you being helped with those kinds of apps, and now you're trying to share it for the people who can just scroll it or listen to it on Spotify. But if I may ask, what was the one thing or one kind of practice that you did that really helped you with your mental health? And also something that you're really sharing with other people?
Yeah, well, I think right off the bat, it's journaling. I think you're really only able to talk well if you talk to yourself well.
Wow.
Don't you agree? Like when it comes to podcasting, people think we just sit down and talk. No, we have outlines, we have backgrounds, we have, these in-depth like annexes and research stuff. And in order for me to be able to talk about real personal issues, I first had to understand it myself. I first had to be comfortable about talking about those things. So I definitely think that journaling just translated into making podcasting, and hopefully that's why people find it authentic.
Yeah, and maybe a lot of people are now wondering, okay, journaling. I'm hearing this. I'm watching it on videos. It's really helpful, but I don't know where to start. So if you could share, but before that, I just really want to highlight the fact about what you said on how important journaling is. And I really believe that as well. I've been journaling ever since 4 years ago. I've never stopped.
Great.
And I think there's a quote that says, if you want to understand the world, read. If you want to understand yourself, write.
I love that.
Right?
Yeah.
So just writing it down makes you understand yourself better. And so I want to know what's your piece of advice for people who are trying to, okay, I want to start journaling now. How can I do it? Do you have any like methods or systems in journaling?
Yeah. Actually, there's this journal that I use called the 5-minute journal, which gives very practical 1, 2, 3 step for people who want to get started. Number 1 is write down what you're grateful for, or 3 things you're grateful for. Share thanks. Number 2, maybe ask yourself a question. What are you trying to answer? I'm trying to understand this. I don't quite get this. Something that I'm trying to learn about in my life is this. Another is maybe write down a mantra. I love starting my journal entries with Dear Hannah. Because sometimes I feel like talking to ourselves is like such an effective way of motivating ourselves. We don't need other people all the time to talk to ourselves. We don't have other people all the time to talk to ourselves. Yeah. But saying, hey, dear Hannah, you got this. Like, you can do this. You can get up today and you can do what needs to be done. Yeah, I find that super, super effective. So I would really encourage people to start there.
I haven't tried that. I think it's really interesting to start with your name, because it's kind of similar into like writing down on your diary, right? But one thing that I also want to highlight is that you're writing down things that you're grateful for, and this mantra that you shared, is it something that you search for on the internet? You read it, or do you have like a list of mantras you follow, or you just write whatever mantra that comes into your head?
When I journal, it's usually at the end of the day. So I have some sort of a theme or a quote or something I read that inspired me throughout the day that I just want to keep. I want to remember. Other times it's inspired by a devotion. I'm a Christian, and I really love praying about what I'm going through and asking God about how he can speak into my life. And Bible verses are my favorite mantras because they are just so effective. So no, it's not from me. It is not from me. It is definitely when I am inspired by an outside source and want to bring that inside that I put the mantra on.
What's your favorite mantra?
Whoa, favorite mantra. I have so many.
Mahirap talagang maiwan ng taong mahal. Pero mas mahirap ang masiraan ng kotse sa gitna ng daan. Don't let this happen again. It's time to upgrade with AutoDeal, an all-in-one platform for your car needs. Para sa sulit and wide selection of promos and trustworthy sales agent, sagot na ng AutoDeal yan. AutoDeal can bring you one tap closer to your dream car with more than 450 highly rated partner car dealers nationwide. So, no need to worry for your next road trip. Visit autodeal.com.ph to get the best car deals.
Favorite mantra for just in general?
Yeah, just in general.
It is well.
It is well.
Yeah, it is well. I think that, or all is well, I think that we're so good at kind of telling our brain negative things. But that one statement calms me down like nothing else. Like, it is well. I'm okay right now. Like, things are not falling apart, like I'm not in a horrible situation that I can never get out of. It is well. Wow. That's my favorite.
That's really powerful. Thank you so much for sharing that. And well, I'm gonna use that now. I've always used all is well, but it also just makes sense to say it is well, and just reminding ourselves that everything's going to be okay. It's not as bad as we think. what's currently happening. And the funny
Mhm.
story is, Hannah was actually the first person that I came up to, and and I was really nervous to come just talk to someone. But I guess if I said to myself, like, it is well,
Just
it's
well.
okay.
This is the
Um,
best space for you
yeah.
to ask people to talk.
Yeah, I love it. So thank you so much for sharing that. And aside from journaling,
Mhm.
you've also, of course, you've shared some episodes with regard to meditation.
Mhm.
Are you always meditating? Do you keep it as a daily habit?
I think people have this false idea that meditation has to look one way,
Mhm.
but meditating is just mulling over something, keeping something in the back of your head, trying to process. I feel like we're always meditating on something.
Uh-huh.
It could be a positive thing, it could be a negative thing, it could be on silence, it could be on noise. So, yes, I'm always meditating. In the positive way, I don't think that's the answer. But I try my best to, as my podcast suggests, pause in moments and to breathe. That's just my favorite way to calm down
hmm
and realign.
Yeah.
Again, sit down, be like, it is well. We're okay. Focus on the brighter side,
Mm.
look up, and yeah, that's my quick meditation.
Yeah. I think that really puts things into perspective that we're always meditating.
Mm.
Sometimes we're meditating on the wrong things. So it's just up to us to realign ourselves to make sure that we're not really lost inside our minds and we're just present. We're just here. So we need to take a pause and breathe. Another thing that really helps people, and I've read it in books as well, is some kind of breath work.
Yeah.
And you've been sharing like breath work
Mhm.
or breathing exercises in your podcast.
Mhm.
Do you have like a simple
Like a
breath
go-to?
work? Oh yeah, a go-to breath work.
They call it the
technique?
box breath. You've heard
Uh-huh.
of it? So it's breathe in 2, 3, 4, hold
Mhm.
2, 3, 4, out 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, 4.
So what does that do with your with your body?
With your it slows you down.
Uh-huh.
I think, and the breath is just such a powerful method to be able to get grounded again,
Mhm.
to realize that you're living, that you are here. Like, it's the best reminder for me that, like, whoa, I'm in control. I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out, I'm holding, my body is following me. Like, I love just going back to that box breathing because it just makes it so easy. It's not like a 15-minute meditation
Uh-huh.
that's just so unattainable. But yeah, 1 second, 3 seconds gets me in and out. Yeah, super
Wow.
great.
Definitely, if you guys are watching it right now, you pause this podcast and then try it out. See it for yourself if it works for you or not. But
Mhm.
definitely, just mastering your breath work. It has a lot of research that really shows that slowing your body down and making sure you control just at least one thing in your life, at least your breath. It makes you calm yourself down, and then you'll be able to see that you have control over a lot of
Yes.
things
Mhm.
happening. So thank you so much again for sharing your time here and sharing all of your insights. Hopefully we can sked another one, maybe online, and
Yeah.
learn more about how we could practice more of our mental health. But definitely, I just want to say I appreciate it, you sharing your time here. But here in Small Talk, we end this by answering a few questions. I have this small segment called Real Talk,
Okay.
where you will need to answer with just either one word, one phrase, or one sentence.
Okay.
So it's like fast talk, but it's really wholesome. Don't worry about it.
Mhm. Okay.
All right. So ready? Okay.
Let's go.
First question: how do you define success?
Purpose.
Purpose. Love it. Second question: how do you define happiness?
Circumstantial.
I love that. Third question is: if you were an animal, what animal would you be?
A panda.
Oh yeah, you definitely feel like a panda vibe to me. Thank you. Fourth question: what is the worst advice you've ever received?
Oh my gosh. Just do it.
Just do it. Well, that's very interesting. Thank you so much for sharing that. Now, my last question would be: what is the best advice that you have ever received?
Best advice. I've received a lot of advice. Best though is number one. All him, not me.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. And thank you again for sharing your time, your energy. I appreciate you. It means a lot to me that you're here on the show, here in our very special
Hey, and I just want to commend you for stepping out of your comfort zone and asking. Yeah, you got it. Congratulations.
Thank you, Hannah. That means a lot.
You're talking straight. You're not stuttering. All your questions, where are your notes? I can't find it. Congratulations. You did well.
Anyway, thank you again. Hannah, if they want to learn more about what you do online, where can they find you?
Podcast on Spotify. And you can follow me on Instagram, Hannah Pangilinan, or on YouTube, Hannah Kathleen. Thanks.
Awesome. There you have it, guys. Thank you again, Hannah. And thank you to everyone who listened to this episode. If you like this, go ahead and share this on your on your Instagram. Don't forget to tag me at Alec Cuenca and of course at Hannah Pangilinan. And again, thank you so much for being here. And this is Small Talk, Small Conversations with Huge Impact, now exclusively on Spotify, powered by Anchor. I'll see you guys next episode. Peace.
The views and opinions expressed by the podcast creators, hosts, and guests do not necessarily reflect the official policy and position of Podcast Network Asia, the hosts of the program, or other programs of the network. Any content provided by the people on the podcast are of their own opinion and are not intended to malign any religion, ethnic group, club, organization, company, individual, or anyone or anything.